And welcome back. Our next guest is the founder and executive director of Half the Story. It's just half the story, though. The leading nonprofit organization advancing digital wellness through play-based, youth-led, evidence-informed programs. And she joins us to preview their upcoming Digital Civics Academy event and so much more. So please welcome to the show, Larz May. Larz, welcome.
Thank you for having me. Happy Monday.
Yes, happy Monday, happy Tuesday, Wednesday, all throughout the week, and 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started and what you're doing.
Yes. Well, I'm a digital wellness entrepreneur. I started Half the Story now almost 12 years ago when I
Hmm.
was a college student. I was really the first generation that grew up in the digital world without a road book. And now at this critical turning point, Half the Story has gone from what was a college dorm room project to explore what the other side of social media was
Yeah.
into a global nonprofit to educate and empower the next generation of youth that would typically get left behind with technological innovation to ensure that they become the superheroes of the digital world and not the victims.
Wait, where did it come from? How did you start it? And where did the idea come from?
So, the idea half the story is what the name says, which is that technology really can be a tool or a weapon. And when I grew up in the digital age, I was only seeing one side of the story
Uh-huh.
online that influencers and creators were producing. And it
Uh-huh.
got me really curious after almost losing my own life to mental health challenges. What role does technology play in shaping our own mental well being, physical well being, spiritual well being? And how is that going to play out in the next generation?
Yeah.
So I really spent the last decade building evidence informed play based education. So, working in school and after school, partnering with the governor of New York on phone free schools to help empower kids to go from a fear based narrative around screens into one
Yeah.
where they can recreate spaces for social connection and screen free fun.
Now, you spoke about how your personal struggles have shaped the organization. Just touch that just a little bit.
Yeah, I think like many entrepreneurs, you go build what you needed or needed to innovate. And for me, I grew up as a young person without ever being taught about how to navigate the digital world. I was taught math, I was taught PE, but I wasn't taught about the place where the average American teenager will spend 30 years of their life. And I knew that knowledge is power. So I wanted to set out and partner to educate young people about how technology would impact their mental health, physical health, financial health, now with AI, and to also power the next generation of leaders. So, my vision is to build 10 million young me's that hopefully go out and create their own projects around digital wellness, get
Yeah.
involved in local policy.
I think a lot of people need to know that too, because with the mess that's out there, my God, we're so happy to have you involved in doing stuff like this. How do you protect, safeguard yourself from the negative outcomes of using social media over usage while still utilizing social media to
Yeah.
push your digital information?
I love that question. And I think the reality is that we have to meet young people where they are. And so many of them are spending their time
Hmm.
online. And so for me, what I really have stopped doing is looking at screen time as really the metric of well being. Instead, what I'm
Oh,
more focused on is, am I actively consuming or creating content that's educating or recruiting kids to be in our program? Or am I passively consuming, which is, when late at night we pick up our phones without a purpose and then we wind up wondering why we binged for 3 hours of content. And so that key is that switch, because you have a choice. Do you want to be a creator or do you want to be a passive consumer? And I believe that we need to activate the next generation of storytellers and dreamers and doers, and that when
yeah,
technology is used in the right way, you can really move people. And even our Half the Story New York City Teen Tech Council, some of the kids that found this program, we have one kid, Jack, that's from a rural place in New York. He joined this movement and this program because he saw it on the governor's Instagram. And I think that's the best power of technology, is when you can actually get it to move people.
yeah. Listen, tell us a little bit more about the Digital Civics Academy, because I'm going to play something in a little while
Yes.
for you.
So, the Digital Civics Academy, this is our third annual program. And really, the goal was to build a masterclass where we would train teens all around the world that want
Wow.
to be the leaders around tech and teens in their community. So, we have 95 kids from 70 cities and 7 countries, and it's a 1 week program that's co designed by teens for teens.
Mm.
And this year's focus is on agency in the age of artificial intelligence. And so it really gives teens the tools to navigate emerging technology with confidence, critical thinking, blending storytelling, mental health, hands on civic engagement. And
Yeah.
we're also giving them the opportunities to have a seat at the table and talk to emerging tech companies like Suno, as well as speak to incredible storytellers like Allison Stoner and Laura Marquez Garrett, who is the attorney at the
Yeah.
Social Media Victims Law Center, so that kids can actually be exposed to what potential career paths could be, but more importantly, how to take action in their local community, because we're living in a world where it isn't realistic for a lot of kids to be
Yeah.
traveling around the world, or they don't have the means to get to the capital. And half the story wants to make sure that this is equitable and accessible, and that we don't leave kids behind in the age of AI.
Yeah, you mentioned AI. I'm going to throw to a video in a second, but how do you mix in AI with everything that you're doing?
Well, 11 years ago, when I started Half the Story, I was of the generation that was impacted by social media.
Yeah,
Right now, what we're watching unfold is that same story that we saw now almost 12 years ago, but we're seeing
yeah,
it with artificial intelligence. And so for us, we look at technology as a social determinant of public health, and we know that these young people are going to be inheriting a world of artificial intelligence, and we need to arm them with the cognitive skills. We need to make sure that they actually are going to be employable because of all the jobs that AI will be taking, and they know what their rights are and how to use AI as a tool, but also to be wary of the downfalls to protect their own futures.
yeah. I've got the 2026 cohort, the Digital Civics Academy video. Let's check it out.
Hi, I'm Adia. I'm 17. I'm from Dallas, Texas.
My name is Benjamin Burgess. I'm 16 years old and I'm from New Jersey.
Hi, my name is April Srack. I'm 17 and I'm coming from Cocoa, Florida.
Hi, my name is Charisma Johnson. I'm 17 years old and I'm from Covina, California.
My name is Alejandro Valdez. I'm 19 years old. I'm from Orlando, Florida.
My name is Dalmas Kazemi and I'm 21 years old.
Hey guys, my name is Johannes Lee. I'm from Redmond, Washington.
Hi, my name is Simone Ton and I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio.
I'm really excited about Digital Civics Academy because I think we're living in a really strange moment online where young people are constantly shaping digital spaces, but we're not taught properly how to navigate them.
I'm really excited for DCA so I can learn more about advocating as a teen. I also feel especially drawn to this year's theme surrounding AI because it's been something that's really caught my interest, especially with its impact on youth mental health and loneliness.
I would say I'm really excited to join the Digital Civics Academy this year, as I would really like to learn from leaders that are leading in policy and media, as well as technology, and kind of get to discuss how young people like myself can preserve our critical thinking in this running and growing age of AI.
With DCA, I'm excited to research the intersection between tech and humanistic pursuit, asking questions about the tech that exists today, the ways it helps us, and how to push back when it doesn't.
I look forward to working with people from all over the place to discuss ideas and innovative solutions for this issue that we are also passionate about.
Larz, wow, you're doing some fantastic things. I got to let you know that we had two of your students here, Caden and Ashwin. Yeah, Endurance Prep High School. Did they tell you they were coming down? They'll tell you about it afterwards.
Our stars.
Yeah. So you're doing some wonderful things. Great. Now, you've been a part of many speaking engagements too, for highlighting Half the Story, digital wellness mission. You got the participation with the TED Talk, Oprah, Aspen Ideas, Washington Port, and so many others. Talk about those things.
Well, I believe that stories have the power to change the world, and Half the Story started as a small dream. But really, my main mission to share with people on all of these stages and through the partnerships we have with incredible leaders like the Oprah Winfrey Charitable Foundation is that digital wellness is the new wellness. It is the place where kids are spending more time than anywhere else.
Yeah.
And taking care of your digital health is just as important as brushing your teeth. So if you wouldn't let your teeth rot, why let your brain rot?
Yeah, there you go. So you have a number of events coming up. Are they all in the tri-state area or throughout the 5 boroughs or what?
Yes. So this summer, we have our Digital Civics Academy cohort, and we will have a group of teens in New York. We also have an office in Manhattan where we host Sunday Mondays with teens from all across the boroughs to come talk about technology and mental health. So if you're a teen, reach out to Half the Story, and we'd love to have you. But also this fall, we're continuing to expand our cohorts of youth leaders and to really help partner and have teens be the bridge between policymakers. So all of the people making laws about AI and phone-free schools and what's happening on the ground. And so we actually are going to be working with teens to host their own events in their own school communities that Half the Story helps them find the funding for or fund ourselves to ensure that we're not just taking away screens or forcing kids to use AI, but that we're actually creating screen-free spaces or screen-free homecoming to reteach kids how to be human. Because if AI is going to be replacing all the things that we think we need to learn at school, and we don't learn how to look someone in the eye and connect, we're losing the infinite awareness, which is the artificial intelligence antithesis.
I would like you to come back because we need to talk about more about AI and what you think, you know, where it's going. But you'll come back soon, right? And you'll tell us all about that. We'll focus on that.
I'll be there with my teens in person next time.
Oh, beautiful. So website, social media, where do we go to find out more about you?
Half the Story project.org.
Half the Story.
Yes, Half the Story on Instagram, or just find me at Living Like Larz. My DMs are always open to teens and parents that have questions.
Thank you so much. Larz May, founder and CEO. Half the Story. Make sure you check it out. Yes. Larz, thank you so much for joining us, okay?
Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day.
You too. We'll see you soon. All right, we'll take a quick break. I've got more open on the way.